Join me in our national anthem and pledge the flag, pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Marcus King, for invocation, please.
Yes, with me, please. Let's give thanks. Heavenly Father, Lord, we're just thankful for another day in your creation. Thank you for making us in your image. Thank you for this club. Help us to fight selfishness and live up to our motto. Thank you for this food that you provided for us today. Please bless the nourishment of our bodies to your service. Help us to go out and be a part of our community and our nation and just be leaders among men and women. Lord, just thank you for this day and thank you for this time together. May we glorify you in each and every minute of it. In the precious name of Jesus, we pray.
Amen. Terry does. Terry, you better looking every day. Not younger, but better looking.
We need to get you some glasses, Rick. Thanks for the compliment. Today's short and sweet, and he's not even here to celebrate his birthday. Archie Solomon on September 27th, and we have one big anniversary to celebrate at the Art Bar, and Christine on September 26th. Hope you all have a fantastic week. Thank you.
Introduction of guests and visiting momentarily.
We are happy to welcome our guests from visiting Rotary. I'll call your name. Would you please stand and remain standing until all visitors are recognized? And it looks like this week is an easy week because we have two. I met them in the parking lot. And for the record, we are not from Australia. So Jeff and Christine McCready, please stand.
Hey Jeff, you want to say a little bit where you're from? And yeah, sure.
Sure.
I think you took that in a suitcase pretty good. So
It will do. We have it in piracy. Before Christine and I left, we were packing the cases. And one of the things that we did is we put aside some pennants from our club to, bring and share with any of the Rotary clubs that we came across. And I think they're still on the bed. So what we'll have to do is I'll have to send you all of us. And the pennants actually they depict our locality. For example, we have a ruined abbey that goes back to the 11th century, And I don't know if you've heard of Oliver Cromwell, who got rid of the monarchy, but when he took over by force of arms, he went round all the monasteries and he gutted them and took everything that was valuable, and at the same time tried to destroy them physically. Anyway, enough of that. We are for the bed. Hey, can you hear me okay? Because I keep wandering backwards and forwards. We're in the northwest of England. We're about 2 hours drive north of Manchester. I think everybody in the States has heard of Manchester. About 3 hours drive short of the Scottish border, and by sea about 40 miles from Northern Ireland, which is the shortest distance, providing that you're a good swimmer. But if you're not, then you've got a problem. We have 3 clubs in our town. We've got a about 55,000 population, I think, at the moment. And we've got 3 clubs who, between us, share about 90 members. And each club has got a different makeup of the people who are in it. We're the only club that is primarily a mixture of ladies and gentlemen. And obviously the ladies tend to rule it because they do the most work. England itself is about 2/3 the size of Alabama, but we've got 65,000 people, which is slightly more than Alabama has. So we're pretty constricted, and the layout, for those who haven't been there, we don't have obviously as much land to build on as you do. So we've got a lot of what nowadays are called townhouses. We refer to them as terrace houses, the ones that are linked together. But we do have, due to our rainfall, lots and lots of greenery around the country. Where we live in the northwest, we're the second biggest county in the country, which is still, I don't know how it relates to the counties in Alabama. I think the counties in Alabama basically are smaller than we are. We have 13 lakes, we have mountains, we have a coastline of about 150 miles. We also build nuclear submarines, and we hope that Mr. Putin hasn't heard of us. But I think he's probably got us, dotted already on the map. I say we get people who live in Manchester or London or one of the big cities, and they say, "How can you live so far out of the way?" And I say, "Well, we're 2 hours from Manchester. Go and visit a big city. That's nothing." We could drive to the mainline railway station, and we do actually have a very good rail system in Great Britain. And we can drive there in 40 minutes, get on the train, and we're in London in 3 hours. So we can get into London sort of 10:30 in the morning, go out, do some shopping, go and see a matinee, go and get something to eat in the evening, and we're home by 11. And the advantage, of course, is that we don't live in a dirty city. One of the things that I say for every American I meet is you must go and visit your capital city at least once in your lifetime, because DC is a city that any country would be proud of. We like the fact that there's no skyscrapers there. And although there are some bad parts of it, there's such a lot of good things, the sightseeing and things. It's not just Arlington Cemetery, which is the big business centre, but it's also, I can't remember now. What's George Washington's house called? Mount Vernon, that's it. And that's well worth the visit. I mean, you'd think it was built yesterday. It's in such good condition. I haven't really other things to say now. Is there any questions that anybody would like to ask that I can answer? No?
Glad you're here.
It's a pleasure always to go to America. As I've said to Rick, first time I came to America was 1974 to visit relatives. It's all Christine's relatives, none of mine. To visit Christine's relatives in Pennsylvania. The first time we got out was 1984. So we've been coming quite a while. We've done 33 states over the years. Keep coming back because we can't make up our mind whether we like the country or not. And we've met thousands of ordinary Americans. So we haven't met just the touristy ones. We've met the proper people, and it's been great. Really has.
Camp Aska. Thank you, Catherine. She's still new to me, so.
I'm not as exciting as the actual dinner.
We got 1,445 points. Last four, 99, 98. 99, 98. Big card. The 6 of clubs. And Kelly can't make it today. Good reminder of what happens on the October the 14th. There you go, White Elephant Sale. Margaret, you want to say something quick?
Good afternoon. So what happens on October 22nd?
Purple Pinky Day.
Purple Pinky Day. So we've got 2 more Mondays for you guys if you have not purchased Purple Pinky donuts. So they are $25 per box. The big change this year, they're the regular donuts instead of the long finger donuts. So I think that will be a bigger hit. So far today, we have sold 270 boxes. So our goal was 400. We sold 335 last year. So we need 130 more. So I know there are 130 more boxes of donuts in this room to be sold. So just remember, for every $25 that we donate for Purple Pinky, we actually raise $187.60. So last year we contributed over $62,000, and so if we sell 400 boxes, that will be $75,000 that will go to the End Polio Now campaign. So it's very important. And so please, we're continuing to do that. I've got sign-up sheets. I did not put sign-up sheets on the table today, but I've got sign-up sheets, and Heather has sign-up sheets. And so the actual deadline is October the 4th. And so again, you do have more time. I just want to make sure to remind you guys, I know everybody's really busy. And I'm a last-minute person myself, so I stand up here with pride to remind you guys about. And so there are 4 ways to pay: cash is king, check, credit card, or we can bill you. And then also, just a reminder, so for your donation, you do get credit for Paul Harris too as well. So just want to make sure that you guys get that. So just thank you for you guys have already contributed, and look forward to those in the month. Thank you.
No? Okay. We got time? Might as well, come on, let's do it. The pressure's on.
I think Archie spoke to y'all a couple of weeks ago. We're doing our second annual golf charity tournament, October 31st. And this year, we're gonna try to raise the money for the Alabama Youth Ranches, which are foster kids that's placed in ranches. I think we've had Mike come speak on it before, but that's our mission this year. Last year we did Miracle Field. This year we're going to try to do the ranches. So if you're interested as a sponsor or put the team in, just let us know and we'll get you signed up.
Thank you, sir.
Ready, Mr. Jordan?
Our guest speaker today is Scott Farmer. He's the executive director of the Southeast Alabama Regional Planning and Development Commission. Been the director since 2017, but he's actually worked there since 2003, so he's a veteran with that. When you read about projects, really anywhere in Southeast Alabama, I think 7 counties, but any of the projects that you read about or hear about, just think back to your mind that the commission's involved. I mean, when I think infrastructure, I'm thinking Scott and the commission. They do so much, like grants, but I mean, if we're talking about rural transportation, I guess we should call it public transportation, or if we're talking about Head Start, we're talking anything water and sewer out in our rural areas. I mean, the commission is involved. So they've been very impressive to me for many years. They've been an important part of our community forever. And we owe them a lot of gratitude. They just do so much, and that's why I wanted them to come, just because we need to know about that sort of thing, and know you can be a big supporter after you hear everything they do. Scott's actually got a couple of different degrees from the university. Got his bachelor's degree and his master's degree in geography. I just think that's very interesting. I took one of those classes when I was a senior, I went to geography class. And I thought, man, why didn't I get into geography? It was the most interesting class anyway. He can tell you about it. His wife Wendy and his daughter Hayden have been two of my favorite people for the last year. They've just been real troopers and situation they went through, and the whole family is such an example to all of us, and they've been really blessed to me. So, if you would join me in welcoming Scott Farmer to Rotary Club.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate y'all having me today. It's an honor to speak for you. I know many of you on this room, and the work that y'all do, both as part of Rotary and throughout your community, does mean a lot. So thank y'all for having me today. And Danny pointed out the degrees, geography. Basically geography is the study of anything on Earth. Geology is, below Earth, and astronomy is above the Earth. But geography is anything, on the surface. So it could go a lot of different areas, and it was a neat field to learn at, learn through. You get exposed to a lot of different things. So as you'll see, kind of the type of work we do lends itself well because it is a broad degree, broad learning interest, and all. So again, thanks for having me, Scott Farmer. Here's part of my agency to represent my agency today. So a lot of people might have heard from us in different areas. And as I go through here, you might be like, I know what I've heard about them about. So, just kind of maybe put the picture together there. So let's see if I can follow James's instructions. Let's see if I slide that up. I'm not following instructions. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, first, I'm going to give you a little bit of history. So, a lot of people ask, well, what do you do, or where do you work at? And if Wendy, my wife's with me, she's like, oh, Lord. Because it's kind of hard to explain a little bit. But basically, we were created by the state of Alabama. So in 1969, the legislature created the modern Regional Planning and Development Commission. There's been since the 30s, some version of regional councils, and most states have
kind of what we are. They're called different things, whether they're called council of governments, regional planning councils. But pretty much we have sister agencies throughout the country and also throughout the world as well. So we were created as originally Southeast Alabama Economic Development District in 1969 with 6 counties, Barber, Coffeedale, Geneva, Henry, and Houston. And then in 1970, Covington County petitioned to join us. I think they were part of the South Alabama at the time, felt more aligned with us over here. And so at that point in time, we kind of renamed as Southeast Alabama Regional Planning and Development Commission, which we are still named today. We were organized as an IRS 501c3 nonprofit in 1977. So that allows us some flexibility on how our funding is done. And then there are 12 regional planning commissions in the state, which were ratified and confirmed in 1985. It's kind of our abilities are in the Code of Alabama. But we're not a state agency though. We are our own entity. And there's a lot of agencies like that that are created from the state of Alabama to do certain functions, but kind of operate independently. So since I'm at the Rotary Club today, I did want to point out our first chairman was Joe Donovan. So I thought that was appropriate to point that out. I know the history that Joe had with the Rotary, but he was really involved in our formation and he had served the first 3 years of us as chairman. Mentioned the Alabama Association of Regional Councils. There's 12 regions in the state. We are region 7. As you can see, we're 7 counties, so we're kind of a little bit larger scale. There's 2 regions that are 10 counties, and there's one that's 2 counties. You can ask why are they so different? It's just how they're created, sometimes politics. And we all do similar things. We directors meet together only monthly. But we also have some differences in how we operate, but we all pull together and do what we can to help out throughout the state as we take our projects together. And so we are kind of aligned in that direction. So how are we governed? We have our own board of directors. So we have 42 members. We have 6, including 1 alternate from each of our 7 counties. So all counties have the same pool within our board. Our board always gets along well, never had any issues that I know of. So majority of them have to be elected officials. So we have lots of mayors, county commissioners, council members. We also have to have certain representatives from workforce, business community, early childhood education. So we've got a pretty varied board. We meet quarterly, normally the second Thursdays of March, June, September, and December. So just to let you know, we're Houston County board members now. In each of our counties, the county commission is responsible for making those board appointments. And so we have David Crutchfield, who's on the city commission, Matt Parker from the chamber, he's our incoming secretary treasurer, Brandon Shute, commission chairman, Michael Smith from Service First Bank, Kimberly Trotter, the mayor of Rehoboth, and Lori Wilcoxon at the chamber, who has been our chair for the last few years. And she, October 1st, she'll roll off, and then Mark Blankenship, Mayor Bozar, will become our chair. So our original mission is simply to improve the quality of life for the residents for 7 county areas. It's kind of a broad statement, but that's what we do. And if you look at what our abilities are, we can do that in a lot of different areas. And so that's what we strive to do every day, is to do something to improve the lives. And a lot of them, what we do is we leverage partnerships. We have a lot of partners. First and foremost, we're here for our cities and counties. That's who technically we work for in a lot of different ways. And so we do the work for them. But as you'll see, we are in a lot of different areas, do a lot of different things. And so it's a pleasure to be able to get up and do the things that we do. You can kind of see our departments. We have kind of 4 broad areas that we work in. One is early childhood education. We operate Head Start, early Head Start, pre-K centers. We have 5 centers right now. We have 3 in Covington County, 1 in Geneva, 1 in Eufaula. How Head Start is, even though we're a 7 county region, we have grants in 4 of our counties. Whereas, say, in Houston County, you have Dothan City Schools that operates Head Start, and then Albert Saliba Family Services does early Head Start. OCAP in Troy does Head Start, and Dale Coffee County. So we get 4 other counties that we do services in. We serve 316 children. We have a few areas that we do what's called early Head Start. So that's from basic pregnancy up through 3 years old, and then your Head Start's 3 or 4 year old mostly. We do have 4 pre-K classrooms we utilize as well. We are licensed as a daycare in the state of Alabama. So basically, we have 3 different governing bodies in a way. We have the federal government, the Office of Head Start. We have, state early childhood education for pre-K and then DHR because we're a daycare. So a lot of rules have to follow, but what Head Start does, I'm not gonna get into too deep today, but education, of course, preschools, get the children ready for kindergarten to have the Head Start. Nutrition, we feed them breakfast, lunch, and snack every day. We do health screenings, we have disability services, we want to get them in that, the resources they need, we have mental health professionals to come, and so we do a lot as part of that. We also try to work with families and our staff as well. I mean, to be part of Head Start, you don't have to be, most people got to be below a certain income level, with their families, and so a lot of people that work at our agency in Head Start were students or originally started out as parent volunteers and just kind of work their way up. And so part of our funding we utilize to try to help them get degrees and go through school, whether it's associates, sometimes they get a bachelor's, and then help families out as well to help break the generation cycle of poverty. Margaret Transit Authority, you see probably our vans. We have mostly vans now. We have a few buses left. For a long time, we had large diesel buses. And so we try to get out of that, more efficient. So most of our fleet now, we've made a lot of investment and COVID funds have helped over the last few years to get us a new fleet. So most of the high road fans, we still have a few larger buses. We do some after school, carry kids from Dothan City Schools, do some after school clubs after. So we still need some large buses for that. We have a senior community services one program, or CSEP is what we call it. It's basically workforce development for those that are 55 and older. Especially was really valuable after a lot of the, of course, this area regionally has been a huge textile area. So once a lot of mills were closed, this program allowed a lot of people to come in and work, and kind of it helps you build your soft skills, and try to, the goal is for unsubsidized employment, in another agency. So we have host agencies we partner with. They have to be a local government or nonprofit. So we have 17 slots in Houston County that we partner with to have these folks. And so most of it with senior centers, community organizations, local governments, and in order. And a lot of times they do get hired to work in those areas. We have community economic development, and I'll get more detail on that. That goes to lots of different areas. And then we have finance, HR, and IT to kind of help back up all that as well. So just a little bit about what our budget coming into this year, FY25, is projected about $11.1 million. It was a little bit higher the last couple of years, through some CARES Act and American Rescue Plan money, but of course we're back down. As I said, the matching money's gone, so we're back down in our normal operating status, and so we are about 75% federally funded. So we are a grantee or a sub-grantee, either directly through the federal government or as a pass-through state of Alabama in a lot of our areas. We have about 161 people on payroll. We have 18, our main office is located in the Houston Administration Building. We've got about 4 of the tower downtown. We have 75 people spread out through our 5 Head Start centers. We have 41 seniors that are spread around our host agencies, and then we have 27 people employed at our transit. We have 2 offices, one here in Dothan, and we have an office in Enterprise as well. So just go a little bit more about our transit. We are the public transportation provider for City of Dothan, for Houston County, Dale County, and City of Enterprise. The City of Enterprise is new. We just started partnering with them October 1st last year, for almost a year into serving the City of Enterprise and public transportation. And so the agency basically designate us to operate that for them, and they help provide us some match funds and all. We also have partnerships with here Wiregrass Rehab Center. We partner with them and Dothan B. Adams School to help provide transportation funding to get their folks back and forth as well. So we've done that now for I think about 21, 22 years, where we are pass through funds for them to help them out. We also have a grant through the state DHR for jobs program. So we contract with a local CAT agency to help people get back and forth to jobs, or job training, or daycare features as well. And sometimes in Enterprise, we do some direct runs as part of that. So again, we have 27 employees. Right now we have 23 vehicles. This year, almost a full year, our fiscal year is October 1st to September 30th. through September 15th, we had a little over 35,500 people rides that are brokered through our Dothan office, and then almost 7,000 in Enterprise. So we've got a good start there. We've got basically 4 vehicles there in Enterprise, and so glad that's gotten off to a good start there. Again, our senior employment program, federal workforce gun. We have 2 grants. One is through a federal Department of Labor provider, and then one is through the state of Alabama. And so again, it's this work experience of these folks with the nonprofits and local governments. And again, the goal, they have 4 years to go in the program for them to get unsubsidized employment. So this shows you the host agencies in Houston County that we partner with, the Alpha Sleep Center, 211, Roseville Senior Center, Ashford Cottonwood Madrid, DHR, the Food Bank, WRC, Mount Olive, Hawk Houston, Tops, and then we host a few as well in some of our departments also. Community Economic Development Department, one of the things we've always done throughout our existence is we work, especially a lot of our smaller communities. The city of Dothan does not need us as much as small communities. They have a lot of, they have a lot of staff, they have their planning department, they have folks that do this in different areas, but of course a lot of smaller towns, the department might be their only full-time or even part-time employee. So that's kind of where our value comes in on that side. So we help our smaller communities, especially in our counties, apply for community development block grant dollars, which is HUD monies that, in the case of outside of Dothan in our area, comes to the state of Alabama through a DACA. And what's nice about that program is communities can identify what their priorities are. There's a lot of things that are eligible for CDBG. And it can be, as Danny pointed out, water, sewer, lots of infrastructure, community facilities. So the community, through a public process, can decide our biggest need in our community is we've got sewer runoff, we really need our sewer system fixed, or we've got this neighborhood that the street's not been paid in 50 years, we need to apply for some money for that. And so we help them through that process, applying for those dollars, because there's a lot of rules and regulations that are part of that. So you can see some of the examples of different areas that we do. It's a competitive process. Normally, the state, you've got at least 2 applications for every one that's funded. So there's never enough funding for the needs of the state. But we normally average, last few years, we've averaged communities get about 15 applications or so a year. And we might get about half of those funded, but a lot of times communities apply. It might take another year to put it in there, and we help them out with that. We are designated as an economic development district for EDA, the Economic Development Administration. And so as part of that, we also help out with, if there's a high-tech, high-skill highway job coming in communities that need public infrastructure, we can help the local government or ID board with some of those projects to help that industry come in. We also have to do a regional plan every 5 years, have to do it every year, which Scott says. It's comprehensive economic development strategy. We've helped out with USDA rural development in a lot of different areas. We are also a local development district for Delta Regional Authority of Marvin County, that a new federal, federal partnership called the Southeast Crescent. Our other 6 counties, including Houston County, is part of that. The program is just getting off the ground, but it's for investments for economic development and workforce development. So we're hoping we get a little bit more. We've done a couple applications there so far. We're still learning about the program, and there's never enough funding for that, but we're hoping it can be of use to this region. Y'all probably heard about Appalachian Regional Commission that covers counties in North Alabama and further off in the mountains. That's a long time program, and this is what Delta and Southeast Crescent tries to do as well. Again, we partner with the DACA. They do a lot of CBG, but also recreation programs. We help out with outdoor recreation grants, recreation trail grants, energy assistance programs for communities. We've done work with FEMA. We administer the regional hazard mitigation plan that allows, and actually we partner with another region for a 10-county area, which is the CDMA region. So it allows our communities to apply for certain grants under FEMA. And we also have direct with some mitigation projects as well, whether it's generators, acquisitions, that sort of thing. We also do a lot of work with ALDOT. We do some rural transportation planning, and then we have to do another plan every 4 years, which looks at needs for those that don't have a lot of transportation opportunities, the human services plan, or what opportunities there are. And then we help also a lot of our communities with grants for, you see the senior buses and things, we help out either directly doing that, or we're also clearing after that process and make sure they've got everything they need before it goes to outline. Just give you a few recent, counties, projects in Houston County. Ashford, some street paving, Cottonwood, we've got 2 projects, a sewer that's ongoing. Of course, the tornado that came through Cottonwood earlier in the year, with the help of our legislators, we're working on a grant to redo the new fire station there. We've helped a little bit with the Innovate Alabama process in Dothan with Hudson Alpha, helping them get designated to the rooftop research greenhouse, part of the Wiregrass Innovation Center is coming. Sewer project Gordon, COVID mobile unit for Houston County as part of COVID funding, project in Madrid for street paving, and then working on a recreation project. So other things that we do, biggest thing, we're a technical resource for our communities. If they've got any questions, see some things come through. We can't do everything directly. We've got a pretty small staff, but we can at least sometimes point them in the right direction or what resources there may be. We also do some planning. We've done 2 different kind of land use plans. We did one a little over 10 years ago for Rocker, of course, now Fort we just completed a new land use study to look at development issues with training and try to help build stronger those partnerships between the base and our local communities. We do other strategic comprehensive planning. We're a state data affiliate, census affiliate, and then we'll also do some local government districting as well for all of our counties, school boards, and our council districts as well. Once we get the census represented. Another thing that our community and economic development department does is small business lending. We partner with a lot of our local banks, provide gap financing through a revolving loan fund, and we have different sources. We have federal sources, state sources for that. So we have a good partnership for that. We have microloans as well. Somebody needs to fix equipment for their for-profit business or need help that way. We can. And normally our RLF can go up to about $250,000, and then our microloans can go up to about $20,000. And then USDA we've done, and also because USDA money is not eligible in the city of Dothan, several years ago, with the help of the city and Dothan Chamber, we formed a microloan program that makes Houston County Dothan eligible. That actually has a separate board that governs it. Matt Parker's on that board as well. Then we have Velma Tribune, Ronnie Tucker, that's at large. We have 9 members total. Those are the members that have local ties. And from the last almost 3 years, we have helped out with 15 loans. So we've loaned out over $2.2 million, leveraging $12.75 million and 294 jobs created or retained. So just to give you an example of the footprint that we've assisted with our small businesses for that program. So again, I know I ran through that quick. I know y'all had a great presentation last week, and Danny want to make sure y'all had a good, nap after lunch today. But just want to give y'all an idea of what we do. We do a lot of things. It's never know what we get into every day. You see everything from preschool to politics to transit. It's just never a dull moment. But I enjoy what I do. I get to work with many of y'all in different areas, and it's a blessing to be here and to be part of this area. So I appreciate y'all having me today, and I'll take any questions y'all may have. Well, I'll be here for a few minutes. If you all want to come see me afterwards, be more than happy to talk. And again, I appreciate y'all having me today. Thank
I think when you're involved in so many things, there's so many different questions. I don't know. You gotta hire so many different kind of people to handle so many different things. That's amazing. Are you like the boss of everybody, or is there somebody over you? Gotcha. Okay. That's a lot of different things to keep track of. Again, thank you, Danny. Next week's program, Nathan Wallace will have a Here's Things team, a group. I'm not exact. Of course, Here's Things team is probably pretty big, so it's got a lot of different things we'll be talking about. Thank you again, Jeff and Christine, visiting from England.
Yeah.
Amazing. So when do you guys head out?
Second
Second of October.
2nd of October.
But not from here.
No, not from here. We're off up to Birmingham,
Irondale.
Irondale at Birmingham.
Birmingham, yeah. I'll never get that one. Next board meeting is, October the 7th. And let's stand for, forward test. Of the things we think, say, and do. Is it true? Is it fair? All concerned. Will the illuminate speeches? Will be beneficial. Y'all have a great day. All right.